Hello people, this is Sonali, the Melodramatic Bookworm. If you've been here before, welcome back, and if you're new to my channel, welcome to the Melodramatic Bookworm family. I'm here today with my July and August 2021 wrap-ups. Yes, you heard that right, because I did not do a wrap-up for July 2021 and there are way too many books in August to do a video of reasonable length, so I thought why not bring July and August together and do a video that I have been wanting to do for a long time now but never got around to doing it. So I thought 15 books in July and 17 books in August make a total of 32 books, but there's a series in there which I didn't want to split up, so add 2 more books from that series. So there's a total of 34 books in this video which I will be tier ranking, and I am super excited to do this. I will explain to you what my tiers are. So yeah, let's just jump right into this video and let me tier rank my July and August reads. I have my laptop right here. I will be bringing it here and then it'll be easier for me to do and all of that. But yeah, let's jump right in. A quick reminder, if you'd like to buy any of the books mentioned in this video, then please use my Amazon affiliate links in the description box below. It would be of immense help to me. Okay, so I have my laptop over here and I will be going through the tiers one by one, and I will also talk a little bit about the book because this is also supposed to be a wrap-up, no? Okay, so before we start, let me explain my tiers to you. I have 6 tiers over here. Each of them are like Hindi famous dialogues or memes or anything of that sort. And my first tier is inspired by a song. It's from the movie Zinda, and the song was Zinda Hu Main Kiske Liye? Who am I alive for? And my tier, my top tier is Zinda Hu Main Iske Liye. Like, I am alive for this. The next tier is one lower than that, is Super Se Upar. Matlab, it's good, it's great, I love it, but I wouldn't give my life for it. The third one tier lower, is a Salman Khan dialogue. It is Dil mein aata hu, samajh mein nahi. I make a place in your heart, but you can't understand me. Something like that, okay? So my interpretation of this dialogue is that I liked a book, but I don't know why and I can't explain clearly. And then the next tier is Seh Lenge Thoda Sa. We'll bear it a little bit. Seh Lenge Thoda Sa is a dialogue from the movie Welcome, and then another Akshay Kumar dialogue. This is from the movie Hera Fairy, and that is 50 Rupya Kaat, overacting ka. This level is like one of the bottom levels. Like, it's not bad, but it's so much of overacting in the book. It's too much, too flowery, etc, that I have to put it in this tier. It didn't sit well with me. That kind of a book will go into this tier. Maro Mujhe Maro. The book is so bad that I would gladly be beaten up rather than read that book. And this is taken from a very popular meme which came out after an India-Pakistan match, in which a Pakistan fan was so frustrated with his team's performance that he was like, Maro mujhe maro. Okay, so these are my 6 tiers, and here are the books. So let's just dive right in. So let's start with July. I read 15 books in July and I started it off with Heartstopper Volume 3. But it is not fair for me to leave the first 2 volumes. So what did I do? I added the first 2 volumes also in here. So these 4, what I'm going to do is, they are so sweet, so wholesome and so warm. They make you feel so good in all. And I just love those 2 characters, Nick and Charlie. This is their story from their friendship and how their relationship develops. I just love those books. So I'm just going to put them in the first tier. This is volume 1. This is volume 2, volume 3, and volume 4. This series is written by Alice Oseman, by the way. And oh gosh, her writing is... Okay, next up is Where Hope Comes From by Nikita Gill. I have the copy right here, and this is one of my favorite reads of 2021. It was one of my most anticipated reads of 2021, and I absolutely fell in love with this book because there's so much hope that it gives me, even the very memory of the book, I'm ready to just fall apart in the best way possible, because Nikita Gill's poetry is always so affirming, and she has that strength, she has that power to make me feel good about my life. And she also gives me so much strength that I can't even begin to explain. So this is going straight to the first tier again. Yes, you sit there, you deserve that place. Next up is another anticipated read of 2021, and that was Whereabouts by Jhumpa Lahiri. And this is a book that I did not expect to love this much. I mean, I did like The Namesake by Jhumpa Lahiri and her The Clothing of Books, but this is one that resonated with me on a whole other level. This talks about the main character who lives in Italy, and they live a solitary life, and how they are going about their life and what they find good about it, what they find bad about it. And it feels like the kind of life the author thought that I would love, and she wasn't wrong about it. It was as if she wrote this person with me in mind. I love my alone time. I love solitude. So to see this book and see myself in this book, it was a stunning experience. So this is going not in the first tier. I mean, I love this book, but it was not like I will give my life for this book. This is my life, it feels like. So I'm just going to put it at the second level. Next up is Our Moon Has Blood Clots by Rahul Pandita. It broke my heart. Like, there are so many things about our country, about my country, that I don't know, and its history is still so vague to me because of two reasons. One, because we are not taught enough, or we are not taught properly. Whatever we are taught, it's very limited in school. And two, because I don't know why, but I was so held up in my own life, it felt like, but that I never got around to finding out more about our country's history. But now I really want to find out more about my country's history. So that's why this book, it just gave me chills, because there's so much truth, there's so much history in there, but there's also so much kindness that the author has put forward. It just makes me feel odd that someone who has been through so much can be so kind. And so I'm going to put this in the super se upar. Yeah. Okay, next. Oh god. Next is The Boatman of Murshidabad by Madhu Kailas. This is a collection of poetry which is so weird. Like, that's the best word I can bring for it. It's weird, it's convoluted, it's flowery, extra flowery in the way that it doesn't even make sense in many places, but some places are very simple, easy. You're like, oh, okay, I get what you're trying to say. That's what you say to the author. I was just bearing with it throughout, but maybe those few spots of light were worth it. I don't know. So that's why The Boatman of Murshidabad is going to सह लेंगे थोड़ा सा. But it could also be in 50 रुपया काट overacting का. No, it's good in this tier. Yes. Who next up is a fantabulous book. I read Quiet by Susan Cain. This is a non-fiction book about the power of introverts in a world that can't stop talking. And throughout this book, I saw myself. Susan Cain does not only, she talks about the power of introverts, but she also talks about how introverts and extroverts can work together to make the world a better place. She talks about the shortcomings of introverts as well. Yes, she is praising, but she's also telling us what those shortcomings can be and how we can actually work to make them better. And this is something that I saw myself in, and I cried. I never thought I would be crying over a non-fiction book which is not a memoir or a biography, and it's amazing. And this would definitely go into the top tier, which is Zinda Hu Main Iske Liye. Absolutely, without a doubt. Yes, it's going there. Okay, so next up is a Jeffrey Archer book, which is the third in the William Warwick series. It's called Turn a Blind Eye. And since this is part of a series, like the third in the series, I won't say much about it, but this continues William Warwick's adventures. As the title suggests, he is trying to turn a blind eye to something that has happened within his department. And this is such a great roller coaster of a book, and it ends on a cliffhanger. Like almost all of Jeffrey Archer's books end on cliffhangers, and this is another one that by the end of it I was like, I want to know what happened, tell me. I think it's releasing this month, the sequel to this, and I just can't wait to read this. See, I did love this, but it's I wouldn't rank it as super also. Okay, this tier ranking thing is tricky, man. Okay, this is going over here. Who knows, some of these tiers might become redundant. I don't know. And the next is a very short book called COVID and Post-COVID Recovery by Dr. Vishakha Shivdasani. This is a very short book. It's a 6-point plan that this doctor has put forth on how to deal with COVID in general, and I really like this. I couldn't give this anything less than 5 stars, but I don't understand why I gave it a 5-star. I mean, I wouldn't change it, but I still don't understand why. So I'm just going to put this here. Although I know what I liked about it, but I cannot justify the rating. It's cool though. And then is a book that I did a full video review of. If you'd like to go check that out, I leave the link here as well as in the description box below. And that book is Let Love Take Over by Thompson Robert. And this is a book that not just talks about love in this romantic sense, but it also talks about self-love. It talks about how you can find yourself and how you can change yourself, how certain decisions that you take are not set in stone. You can change them if you want to make good changes to your life. So this is one that I really enjoyed. I really did like, but I had issues with it. It's not the best, nor is it the worst. So I'm going to put it again at Let Love Take Over at this level. No, at the third level. That's what I'm trying to say. This is Let Love Take Over. Cool. Next up is another review copy that I got, but this was like this. I think this is the first one to go into the last level, and that is Cognitive Fitness by Anil Rajput. In the first 40 pages, the author does make sense, but after that, it gets so flowery that you don't understand. He's just repeating the same point over and over again, and he's not telling what we can do. Like, he's just saying your cognitive senses, your fitness, cognitive fitness, pain is inevitable. You have to deal with it. How? I don't know. So this is going straight here. Oh bhai, maro mujhe. Next is Prisoner's Dilemma by Vish Dhamija. This is good. Like, this is a good sort of thriller kind of thing. It's suspense. It's snap. Everything's happening fast. Like, every page you're getting something or the other. And there's someone who's being held in an interrogation room, and in another interrogation room, a prisoner is being held. They have been arrested for a murder. So Prisoner's Dilemma basically means that, I think it's used in game theory or something, but it means that how two very rational, very intelligent individuals might not cooperate. And this is a classic example. It's a very good story to go with the title, and I really enjoyed reading it, but it didn't blow my mind. So I'm just going to put it at level 3, and it's fun. Like, the book is really fun, but I don't know if I would read it again. Maybe I would, actually. In hindsight, I'm going to put it here. Cool. Okay, next is the big one. The big one, and that is King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo. And why? I mean, let me tell you this, I did not give this a bad rating. I think I gave this 4 stars, but that's because Leigh Bardugo and her world building is epic, like epic levels. She knows how to bring all of the details, but when it comes to plot points, and when it comes to treating her characters, and to actually bring about things that are supposed to happen or not supposed to happen, that's the bone of contention with readers. Like this ending, those last, like the twist, the climax, it comes in the last whatever many pages, not even pages, the last 3-4 lines, and it's bone chilling, it's unnecessary. And if I'm talking about unnecessary, not this rule of worlds, whatever happens in that book is unnecessary. If you've missed that, this was a subscriber pick for the month of July, and I've already posted the subscriber pick video. If you'd like to go check that out, link here as well as in the description box below. And yeah, I'm just like, this is about Nikolai Lantsov and Zoya Zelensky, and there are also a bunch of other characters, but I just want Lee Bardugo to not do things just for the shock factor. So this I'm going to put it here because I did like it, but I don't understand why she had to do all of that. So dil mein aata ho, samajh mein nahi. This is what this book is saying. Okay, next is The Shining by Stephen King. This is my first ever horror book, and I really liked it. Like, I know that Stephen King has a history of being quite misogynistic and sexist also in his writing, and I did find that to a certain extent over here, and we did a whole discussion about this, about The Shining and the themes explored in it and what Stephen King intended to do with this book and all of that. So if you'd like to go check that out, link here as well as in the description box below. This was on Mira's channel, if I'm not mistaken, so please go check the video out. It was fun, even for a non-horror buff like me, it was really fun. Okay, and The Shining is about this family who goes to a hotel to take care of it during the winters, and things start happening, supernatural things, and they've got to live it out. And oh my god, if I say anything, I feel like it's going to be a spoiler, but we have spoken about it in that video, so I'm going to redirect you over there. Okay, even though I want to say that it belongs in the third tier, I'm going to put it in the super se upar because it's my first ever horror book and I really enjoyed reading it, and just for that I'm going to put it in level 2. If I had had experience with it, maybe I would have put it in level 3, who knows. Okay, so next up is Loveless by Alice Oseman, and this is a book that is absolutely fantastic. I mean, I cried buckets when I was reading this book because it reminded me of me. I mean, I don't claim to have any experiences like the main character has in terms of sexuality and preferences, but as a person who has had problems with friendship before, and who I still think that I have issues with friendship before, but this book talks about the main character whose life revolves around her friends. Like, she's trying to figure herself out, but she also knows that platonic love and as friends is a hugely important thing, and it shows why it is important. Yes, it does get draggy at times, but then again, it's a book that I would highly recommend. I love it to no end, and it's angsty, yes, but oh god, it's just right up there. It's going there, up there, and it deserves it. So with this, we've come to the end of my July reads, and now on to the August reads. So the first book that I read in August was When the Wildflowers Bloom by Rupa Bhullar, and this is a story of domestic abuse and self-discovery and coming out of that domestic abuse and having to build a life of one's own after having experienced all of this. And it was good. Like, I liked the themes that it explored, but I did not like how it was explored. I think because of this, I'm going to have to put it in Seh Lenge Thoda Sa. Like, you can bear with it and read it just because of the themes that the author is exploring and the way that they are telling it to us. That's the biggest problem that I have, especially in hindsight, when you look back and you want to think of the good things, of the and also of the bad things, but there's only one thing that you can see: floweriness. Why this much floweriness? I don't want it, please. Okay, so yes, that's where that book is. So the next one is The Last Nomad by Shugri Said Sal. This is a memoir of the author themselves, and they about their life and about their flight from Somalia and their experiences in Somalia, and during the civil war, how their life was before, during and after, and what molded her into the person she is today. And it was great. I really loved it. It's a very easy read. I really enjoyed learning about their experiences, even though some were really heartbreaking and shocking as well. Like, it shouldn't be shocking, but some of those instances, some of those incidents, they were overshadowed by certain other instances, like George W. Bush invading, I think, was it Afghanistan? And that particular event, it sort of overshadowed this. So yeah, that was a great book, and one of my favorite reads of 2021. So this is going here, super. It's a good read. Anyway, so next up is Saraswati's Gift by Kavita Kane. This was a review copy that was sent to me by Penguin India, and I read the book. I really liked it. And the way Kavita Kane has brought Saraswati to life, the goddess Saraswati of knowledge, of music, of learning and wisdom, her relationship with Brahma, her relationship with the world in general, and she has written it in a very compelling narrative, and I really enjoyed reading it. So I'm going to put this on the level 3, which is Dil Mein Aata Hoon, Samajh Mein Nahi. I didn't love it, but I liked it, so I'm going to put it there. Okay, next up is Murder at Moonlight Cafe and Other Stories by Isha Vasyam Das. This is a collection of short stories which I picked up in a very impromptu manner, but I was surprised by how good these stories were, and maybe that surprise factor has me going all, wow, I want to read more by this author, and I hope that they bring more books for us to read in the future. And I really liked it. Like, I don't know which tier to put them in though. Oh, okay, I'm going to put it here. No, I'm going to put it here because I really liked it. Really liked it, even to the extent of loving it. Next up, we did a partition literature collab, me, Smriti from Sant Reads, it was her idea actually. I loved it, and Shruti from Fandom Newbie and Jyotsna from Jyotsna's Bookscapades. We did a partition literature collaboration in which all three of us read 3 books each about the partition of India, which I've already made a video about. I've explained everything in it. I've talked about them, so I won't do much of talking here. The first one was Manto Selected Short Stories by Sadat Hassan Manto and translated into English by Atish Tasir, and this was a great collection of short stories. Manto has this thing where he also takes into account the mental health aspect of the partition of India, and he forms such compelling stories that it's just a treat to read and to understand what could have happened back then. Some of them are just shocking. Like, not all of the stories in this book are partition related, but whatever they are like just gut wrenching, to say the least. This is again one of my favorite books of 2021, so it's going straight up there. It's like I'm going to go read everything Manto has on offer. So next is Train to India by Malloy Krishnadhar. It is Memories of Another Bengal, which focuses on the partition in East Bengal. And Malloy Krishnadhar, as a Bengali, he talks about his life, him growing up and him actually experiencing partition as a kid, the people around him, the communities that were broken apart just because leaders thought that it would be okay to divide states and regions and provinces into different countries. It shows the effect, like what happened, how they were affected, and how their relations with the people around them changed, and how even in the same country, if you come from a different place, people treat you like you don't belong, and how they Malloy Krishnadhar and his family went through this whole thing. That's what is there in this book, and this is going in Super Se Upar for sure. Not there, you're here, thank you. Next up is Ice Candyman by Bapsi Sidhwa. This is another book set during the partition, but this has so much gore, violence, and it's just battles and war and bloodshed and so much more. This is about a Parsi girl who has been affected with polio, and how her and her ayah, compels her to take some decisions or to do some things without thinking that make her rue her own nature. I don't know why I haven't been holding them up. I just got carried away. Anyway, so this is gory. If you want to go ahead and read it, you remember that this is very, very gory. But it's a great book either way. I wouldn't be alive just for it, but yeah, it's going here. It's going in a second level. So next is, it's not the same cover, but I read this for work, for a freelance gig that I was doing, and I really liked it. I have been meaning to read this. I had been meaning to read this for a long time, and I finally found the chance to, and it was fun because I was working on it as well as I was reading the story. So it was really fun to read, and I mean, yeah, the main character is a bit of an ass, but how he becomes invisible, and how his he gets his comeuppance of sorts, and what actually happens to the whole invisible man figure that is there throughout the book forms this story, and it was fun. Yeah, it's a good one-time read. I feel like it's sort of a popcorn entertainer. It's nothing great, but it's also not bad. So it's entertaining, so either way is going to be fine. So I'm going to put this in the third level because I did like it, but I don't understand why I gave it 4 stars. Although maybe okay, I see why I did. Next is an audiobook that I listened to on Storytel. I've done a whole video review of it. If you'd like to go check that out, link here as well as in the description box below. The book is The Strange Death of Anindya Sundar, written in Bengali, originally written in Bengali by Anish Deb and translated into English by Arunava Sinha, and narrated by the amazing, the inimitable Rahul Bose, and he gives such nuance to his narration, and I really loved what he did with the character of the angel in this book. A very famous murder mystery writer is dead and now goes to heaven, and the angel over there, the main angel in charge, tells him that he has been murdered. So he wants to go back to find out who actually did it. So it's a very sort of strange whodunit over here, and I really enjoyed it. Like, Rahul Bose's narration made me give it 5 stars, although otherwise maybe I would have given it 4 if I had like read it. But yeah, Rahul Bose did it for me, and I'm going to put it in Super Se Upar. Wow, I see that I did read quite a few good books. Next is Life's Too Short by Abby Jimenez. This was another of my most anticipated reads of 2021, and I did like reading it, but both the characters were so dense. I mean, can't you see what's going on right in front of your eyes? But I also get that you can't force romance. Adrian Copeland and Vanessa Price. Vanessa is a YouTuber, and her mom died of ALS. Her sister died of ALS, and since ALS is hereditary, she thinks that she might also get the gene and she might also die. So she keeps an arm's distance from romance and all of this stuff. She's concentrating on her, YouTube channel. So she meets Adrian Copeland, who is the sort of owner of the building that she's living in. He lives right across from her, and they build up a rapport, they build up a friendship, and it's obvious to the reader that they have this spark going, but they have no idea. Good lord, they have no idea. But it's okay. You can't force such things. Just because of that, I was like, okay, chill, Son, chill. Don't get angry at them. Don't get angry at them. It's okay. Let people take their time to find out whatever they need to find out. Don't force it. And when one of them is being an idiot, you can't do anything. So you've just got to bear with it. So you see where I'm going with this, right? I am going to sailenge thoda. Although if that wasn't there, I would have put it in the upper level. Okay. So next up is a book that it was bad. In hindsight, it was bad. Like, I saw spots of light. Like, I did see why this author is so well known for her direction. And you see who the author is. The author is Ashwini Iyer Tiwari, and the book is Mapping Love. And it was just no. Just absolutely no. It was this very annoying thing where there was too much floweriness, no clarity at all about what the author is trying to say. The main character is going all over the place and we don't know what she's finding or what she is, looking for or what is going on. There's insta love, there's it's just the flowery writing makes you want to go maro mujhe maro. I don't want it. Like, I did give it 3.25 stars, but oh man, it's just so frustrating that nahi yaar, I can't do this. So I'm just, you see where I'm going with this. I'm putting it here. I just can't. I can't. I also want to put it in 50 rupiya cart overacting ka, because can we do that? I don't think we can. It's supposed to be in 2 places actually. The last 2 levels it's supposed to go in, but okay. Okay, next is Rule of Walls by Lee Bardugo. I've done the whole discussion review thing already on my channel, link here as well as in the description box below. You already know this. Never mind. This is a continuation of King of Scars, of course, and this also ends up on a cliffhanger, and by that cliffhanger we get to know that there might be a 6 of Crows 3 coming, and I'm going to leave it at that. And I cannot forgive the author for one particular thing that she did in this book. Absolutely not. It wasn't needed at all. And it's just because I like the storyline and I like the characters that I was going through with it. Otherwise, I would have chucked this book across the room. And also that the book costs like a bomb, no? I'm just going to put this in Sailenge Thoda. Even though I gave it 4 stars. I gave Rule of All 4 stars, but I'm going to put it in Sailenge Thoda sa because of what exactly happened in there. Next is a book that's called Dancing in Tata's Footsteps by Srividya Venkat, and this is like absolutely up there because it's so beautiful, it's so heartwarming. This follows a little boy and his grandfather who takes him to a dance class, and the girls over there, they laugh at him because he wants to learn dance. I think this is set in America, and it shows how men are made fun of, but the underlying thing is that if men do anything that women do, they are considered not men. So that's like an indirect attack on women. Like what women do, you shouldn't do, otherwise it will reduce your value. And this book, it shows like Dancing in Tata's Footsteps, in which the Tata is such a beautiful role model. It's a children's book, a short book, and in which the little boy looks up to his Tata, which means grandfather, and it's just so wholesome, so heartwarming. I gave it like 4.5 stars, but because of the message that it is sending, that dance or art or anything has no gender, or rather gender is very fluid. It's great. I loved it because of the message that it sent out. I got it on NetGalley, and I had next is Love Creekwood by Becky Albertalli. I listened to this on Storytel and I loved it. Like, this is a sort of continuation, sequel to Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda, and this is a novella, and this follows Simon and all his friends' lives in university, and the angst, the love, the friendship, the things that they do, and how they write letters. This is in an epistolary format, and how they talk to each other. It's just so, it was so much fun to read as well. But at some points I did feel like it got a little too angsty for me. But I still did give it a 4 stars because I really enjoyed it. So I'm going to put it here. Next is this book by Lucy Foley. And this is a great thriller. I really loved it. I love how the author wrapped it up. But it got so draggy. It's like, and it got so flowery. The sentences are stunted and it got really annoying to, at least the first half of the book was very annoying. But stick with it and you will find that it is a good book. So if the book hadn't been so draggy, I would have put it in level 3, which is Dil mein aata hu samajh mein nahi. But now I'm going to say seh lenge thoda sa, because you have to bear with it for a bit before you actually end up finishing it. Okay, let me tell you what this is about. A couple is getting married on a remote island, and obviously guests are invited, but then they find a dead body outside, and then all hell breaks loose. All the characters' histories are going on, and that is where it gets draggy. Like, we don't need those many details also. If you are writing a thriller, it needs to be snap fast. I don't want like she woke up 10 months earlier in a bed full of roses. What should I do with that information? Okay, if you think that is it, but I was just like, no man, it's personal opinion. I have to say that again, it's personal opinion, so please. Okay, so that's done. Now on to the last 2 books. The next is the comfort book, which is going straight up there. The comfort book is that Zinda Hu Main Iske Liye, because this book, another of my most anticipated reads of 2021, it just has my heart. Like, I don't think I can say this enough, but this book has very small chapters. Matt Haig's written very small chapters, but every single one of them, except for a few, I related to so much. There are those few which I talked about. Matt Haig is saying that I did this to cope with it. He's not telling me to go and do whatever it is, but he's like, if this is something you can do, if you think you can do to make your life better, then please do it. And this is how I did it. And we had a great discussion. Drama Queenathon Book Club, we read this book in August, and we had a great discussion on, what day was it, Saturday. And I really enjoyed the discussion. And look at the number of tabs now. That must tell you what exactly I feel about this book. No, I gave this 4.5 out of 5 stars, but I would still say that this is like, I would live and die for this book. Like, absolutely. No questions asked over there. Cool. So the last book is Embroideries by Marjan Satrapi, and this was a gift that I got for my birthday from a very, very dear friend. Thank you so much, Chatra, for this gift. I really enjoyed it. This is like a 1-hour read for me, but there's so much going on in this book that I really liked and I really related to as well. And it's fun, it's witty, it's about Iranian women, including the author, the author's mom, the author's grandmom, all of them sitting in the living room, sipping on tea and talking about their lives, their life, not just their home lives, but their sex lives, about love, about men, and there's so much they're talking about, and there's so much truth also to it, like global truth, that I just wanted to burst out in laughter every time these women talked. I really, it's a great book. I absolutely loved it. I gave this also 4.5 stars, but I don't know where to put it. I think I'm going to put it in Super Se Upar because it's wonderful. So that's why I'm putting it in Super Se Upar. So this rounds up our tier ranking video. Cool. So that was my tier ranking for the July and August 2021 reads. There were 34 books that I talked about. So what did you think of this video? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you read any of the books from this rather very long list? And what do you think of this tier ranking concept. Should I do this for all my wrap-ups, or should I just reserve it for a few special videos? And yeah, if you'd like to add any of these books to your TBR, any of these books to your wish list, and are you going to buy any of these books, and if you're going to buy any of these books, then another reminder, please use my Amazon affiliate links in the description box below. It would be of immense help to me. And also let me know in the comments below what you thought of this video or of any of the books mentioned in here. I would love to hear from you. If you like this video, please like it and share it to spread the word. And if you like my content and would like to see more from me, don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell icon beside the subscribe button to get notified as and when I post new videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, keep reading, keep watching, and add melodrama to your life.